Hi, this is Michelle Velasquez, and this is AAP 855 Module 7. Um, According to Bullman and Dill, the human resource framework is a conceptualization of an organization as a family where the actual organization and the people that work inside of it have a symbiotic relationship. But where people are placed higher in importance. So this type of framework values communication, a good fit between the organization and the people it hires. And sometimes I think communication is placed is at a level of very high importance, and people are really even allowed to talk about their feelings in this type of organization. After learning that about the human resource framework, I moved on to the second portion of the assignment where I organized a hierarchy of people within my organization, with me hypothetically at the top of this pyramid structure as the principal, and this is what I came up with. So you'll notice that it spans out like a traditional pyramid, but that there are little nuances that are a little bit different. For example, teachers are placed a little bit higher than people on the right side of the pyramid. And why I organized the pyramid structure, the hierarchy, to have different levels is to sort of annotate or denote different levels of importance. So I put besides the principal, I put teachers highest because research shows that they're the number one indicator of what's inside of a successful classroom. As a principal, I'm also, tides have changed in the educational landscape to where people really think that principals need to be the learning leaders in the building and not really a building manager anymore or at all, but a leader of teachers. And so I feel like that's why I'm justified in placing them higher. If you'll notice, students are placed super high as well, and so are paraprofessionals. One of the reasons why I placed paraprofessionals so high was because I did an interview for the SPED Education for Administrators class that I was taking, and I got to interview some paraprofessionals, and boy, they really see a lot of what goes on in the school, but they're sort of like this untapped potential because nobody really ever asked for their input. But they were able to spot problems with how the school operates, how they could be utilized better. They could tell me which teachers provided the right types of accommodations, which teachers just let SPED kids sit there. So I really, really plan on, when I'm an administrator, taking the time to get to know my paraprofessionals and make sure that they are well suited for the environment, but also that the school is meeting their needs. Students were also placed really high because that's our end product as a school. That's what it boils down to. That's the data. Their achievement data is what will weigh heavily on the back of the school, and really that the students are what everybody corrals around for the school, and that's why they also have this sort of central protected location within the triangle, or pyramid, I should say. Now, you could also see that it's almost divided right down the middle for left side and right side. The right side of my hierarchy organization focuses a little bit more on the people around or inside of a school that help to make it work. So next in important is parents, and then the office staff. I thought parents deserved to be second in this hierarchy organization because a lot of what they say about the school informs what type of a reputation the school has. They also are the number one advocates for their students' learning in most cases, and if they're not, then that's just another opportunity to grow. I placed knowing full well that the assignment said I couldn't choose favorites or say everybody was important, I chose to put community and alumni down at the bottom because while they have potential to make massive contributions to the success of the school, we're a little bit insulated from their effects at times just because of the logistics of running a school. I don't necessarily have a plethora of time to spend developing those relationships all of the time, whereas it's a requirement that I do that with my teachers. I will say also that if you look at it from a dichotomy, if you had to choose to develop your teachers more or develop the relationships that you have with your community and alumni, it's obvious that you should choose to develop the relationship with your teachers because they are the ones that produce the learning. That was a tough call, but that's why I made my decision to put community and alumni at the bottom of this hierarchy organization. Now, moving to the furthest right portion of my hierarchy, I put office staff pretty high up there, and you'll notice that teachers are the highest, but office staff is right there too. The reason why I'm choosing to put the office staff pretty high up in my organization is because we have to handle the teaching portion of school, but in order for that to happen, we have to have the logistics operation in place. So that means that we have to have people that schedule well, people that bill well, people that know how to talk to parents and outside members of our community. We have to have people that can manage attendance and manage schedules and manage what the counselors are doing on any given day. And so the office staff, I really think they're great facilitators and enablers for the learning leaders in the school and the teachers and the students. So I would be just seeing our own office staff in my school. They do a lot of what makes the principal's hands be free for other work, is what I've seen. And it's a shame that they don't get paid as much as some of the other people in a building because they really are worth their weight in gold. Now, another tough decision, I placed custodians, cooks, maintenance personnel all underneath office staff. Not necessarily, again, to dilute their importance, but because I felt like if you had to choose between who would be harder to hire quality people for, it might be your office staff. And if I'm being totally honest, I would have to really, really look at that a lot more and probably learn by experience. So that was a hard one to put them down there at the bottom, but I was thinking that those positions might not necessarily lend themselves to hiring the best people, since I know a lot of those jobs pay really low. But I did think that they were important in the regard that those are the people who sometimes see and hear things in the building that you would want to know about, but they're not necessarily a super official channel. So I would like to develop that. Your cooks and your custodians and your maintenance personnel are a lot of times in the hallways when nobody else is. And they get to know the kids. They're a good, they could be a face for the building in a lot of ways because the children often see them in a really informal sort of circumstance. And so they also contribute to the climate of the building. So they're important in that regard, also for the same reasons that the office staff is important. So that was an overview of how my proposed hierarchy organization would go. If I wanted to develop it further, I would have added additional rows for things like department chairs, coaches, volunteers, and But I think the first and second rows would be pretty permanent. I wouldn't change those. Most people, it would fall, a lot of that would fall underneath the second row of my hierarchy. So this has been my presentation. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.